Hey guys, it's Natalia, and welcome back to Unfiltered Fashion Talks. Today we have our first returning guest, the one and only Veronica. Heck yeah.
Hello, everyone.
So excited to have you back. We've already done the episode on like your background and all the things. So if people don't know who you are, go check that one out. And then come back to this one. But today we just want to do a little roundup of like 2021 and then talk about like 2022 goals and things just to get you motivated for the new year. So, how was your 2021?
My 2021 was pretty interesting, to be honest. Lots of changes,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, I guess to be exact, I actually moved to Puerto Rico
Mm-hmm.
December 29th. So I started off like 2021 in like a
Dang.
whole new place. And I was like, settling in for like about 2 months. And
Mm-hmm.
then I had been planning like my spring summer collection. And so I started doing that collection. And before I had started my brand, in like June. So I
Right.
had simple like made to order designs and stuff, but not like I had for spring summer where it was like very consistent.
Right.
But it was my first time like actually putting out a collection where it was made to order and I had the same items but like in different colors
Right.
every time I would run out of a color, I would just get a new color in it. So that was lots of trial and error and it actually was really successful
Mm-hmm.
to my surprise. Actually, it's funny because I moved to Puerto Rico in the hopes to kind of like chill and
Good
like
one.
yeah and like not do so like still work and still do fashion but not as much as I was doing whenever quarantine was really at its peak because I was like inside all the time. So I was like, oh, let's move to Puerto Rico and we're gonna chill.
Right.
That did not happen. None of that happened, and my collection did really really well, which is amazing, but I just wasn't expecting it to go so well. I guess like I wasn't expecting to sell out of my pieces or reach the limit that I could accept every
Mhm.
single week. And
Right.
so I would have I would uh, open up my shop every 2 weeks and I would accept 15 orders, sometimes a couple more because people would DM me and be like, oh, like I missed it and I really, really want it. And I'm like, let me send you a link. You can get
Right.
one. And so I would kind of like put extra on myself. And it would take me like, I would try to make them in 2 weeks, but it wasn't happening. It would take me like 3 weeks, and then I would still open the shop every 2 weeks. So then I would kind of get delayed because I would still be finishing the ones from before, and I wouldn't start
Right.
the new ones until like another, 2 weeks. So it went really well, but it was just, I learned quickly that it was extremely overwhelming and I could not do it by myself because I had no help at all.
Right.
I don't really have friends here, and I had my boyfriend here, and he would help me more with little things like packaging and packing everything together, hand sewing, putting like grommets and stuff, little things that he could do,
Right.
but it was still not enough. Like I needed a lot more help on
Hmm.
top of like social media and like trying to keep up with that. So I learned quickly that I need to like relax and take a step back from it. So like so I had my brand for about or that collection going from March to August or like July, like the very
Hmm.
last end of July.
Right.
And then I stopped accepting orders because I was like, I need a break. I'm like exhausting myself. I was sewing, every single I would take maybe
Hmm.
one day off. And even the one day off, I would be doing social media stuff, like kind of
Right.
preparing some post or um and it was just so like it was just bad for my mental health. And even my boyfriend was like, you need to like take a step back from this because you're acting different. Like
Mhm.
you're definitely like more stressed out and you definitely don't seem as happy. So what I thought I wanted, you know, having like a brand and made to order and all that, it just ended up, not that I didn't want it, but ended up being something that was taking a toll on me.
Yeah.
And we need to reevaluate our life.
Yes, we do. I feel like I'm in the same boat at this point. I feel like my 2021 was kind of less consistent of like launches and stuff because I don't know, the beginning of the year I also moved. I moved in February, so that gave me like a good month of just like kind of settling in and like figuring my life out. And then I did like a few like, you know, recurring launches like April, May, maybe March. I don't know. So that was good. And then like in the summer was when I did like the runway show in Joshua Tree. So then like after that, I kind of just like wasn't very consistent with launches at all. It's kind of just like random here and there just because I was like traveling and like doing stuff. So I couldn't like be putting stuff out so frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And then that lasted all the way until November was the next time I like actually launched. And that was not a great one.
Yeah.
Well, it was weird because it was a good one in terms of like, you know, people like liking it and orders and all, but you know, I was like, yeah, hiring help is going to be great for me. It wasn't that great. Unfortunately.
Struggle.
It was a struggle, but I you know, it's a learning curve, I guess. So it's okay. We'll just do better next time. But yeah, I feel like this year was a lot of trial and error for me too, and I think that I'm still not sure exactly what I want to do going into next year. Like I kind of know what I want to do going into next year, but yeah, I feel like the whole running a made to order brand by yourself is not a really sustainable thing in terms of like an
The
actual
goal is
lifestyle. It really isn't. Like it's good to start with, obviously, and like obviously it's successful as it has been for both of us to an extent, but it's like so draining and definitely not something I'd recommend doing long term whatsoever to anybody because
it
it's a
definitely
lot.
just has like, it's just a balance. Like
Yeah.
having a made to order like brand, like a small made to order brand is doable if
Mhm.
you have at least one or two people that
Yes.
can help you, or you can have like in the small made to order by yourself, but having like another side income. Like you're
Yes.
not mainly supported by that made to order brand, which is what we're both doing.
Right.
And it's just a lot of pressure because we need to pay bills. So we're
Yep.
like, okay, I need to put out, you know, I need to accept more orders so that I can get more money
Mhm.
so I can pay my stuff. And
Right.
so I feel like it's possible to do it. It's just like it can't be your main source of income.
Yeah.
And then you have to find the balance of working something else, like being a server or something, plus doing the made to order. So it's like, it's just a balance that really you won't know what works until you try it.
That's true.
So it's all about just taking action and trying it out to learn what works best for you, which is like, if I would have never jumped into that and like done it, I feel like the reason I leaped into it is because I was moving to Puerto Rico and I'm living with my parents, but like
Mhm.
underneath them. So I have like
Right.
my own apartment because like, you know, the houses in Puerto Rico are just like different.
Yeah.
But so I have like my own apartment and mm, in my farm, in like another piece of our land, there's like an extra building, which is like their office, and also like my mom's hair salon is in there, and then they have like
Mhm.
an extra 2 rooms on the other side that um I transformed into my studio.
Right.
So me and my boyfriend, you know, we pay rent here, but it's like very minimal
Yeah. Yeah.
because rent here is not the same as in the
Definitely.
States, especially where we live. Like, if you wanted like your own house here, it's like $300 a month
Right.
for rent.
That's
And so we
oh.
just had like barely any bills. So I was
Mhm.
like, let me take advantage that I barely have bills and I
Mhm.
can like leap into this and really try it out and see what works. And
Right.
I learned.
Yes,
And
you did.
if I wouldn't have done that, I would have never known that like that I couldn't, you know, do it by myself, or like I learned so many things doing it like by myself, and like I met so many people, you know, I met
Right.
you, and like
Right.
so it was definitely worth it. It was just, you know, now I'm taking that experience and I'm applying it to the future now.
Yeah. No, that's how I feel at this point too. just like the doing it by myself, even like the hiring people to help me thing. I feel like I'm still kind of learning how to actually do that because it's not as easy as it sounds to like be somebody's like boss in a way. Like I struggle so much with like being assertive with people because I just want everything to be great all the time and it's just not. So hiring people is harder than I thought. But I do think it was a good step in towards like the future because obviously I would not like to do this by myself forever. And I would like to grow it and expand it and have people under me. So I think it was a good experience. And obviously I'm gonna like continue to go into that. I think it's probably gonna take a while to like really find a good like, I don't know, groove of like having people under me and like knowing how much I need to like tell them to make sure things are like good and like checking things and just like proper communication because it's just not something that you learn unless you do it. Like
Exactly.
nobody can like teach you that. So that's been really good. I feel like I now have like really good communication with like the one seamstress that I did hire this year, which has been nice. She's been like a lot more consistent with this last launch, which like thank God because there's no way I could have done this one by myself. So like that's been really good. The pattern maker situation, not so good. But you know what? We're gonna try some new ones next year. We'll see how it goes. I think I just need to like take more time with it. I feel like I kind of rushed it a little bit just because like it was a very last minute decision that I was like, oh, maybe I should hire somebody to do all these patterns because I'm gonna be gone for a month and I actually have no time to make all these before I launch.
Mm-hmm.
So just need to like take more time. Also plan things out more. I like in my personal life, I'm such a planner, but in my business, I've been kind of just like doing things as they go, kind of been like a lot more go with the flow. And I feel like I need to have a better, like, just like set plan on like when I should launch things or like when I should do certain things by, because I've kind of just been like, oh, well, whenever I have like time or whenever I have the fabric for it or whenever, whatever. But I feel like that also is like an extra stressor if I don't have it all like planned out. So need to work on that as well.
That's like the youngness in us. I don't even know what
Yeah.
like we're just like still like go with the flow like people and we're
Right.
so young so we don't know exactly what is the best way to do things so
Yeah.
we're just like let's just do it and figure it out as it go like as we go.
Yeah.
That's how I do a lot of things, to be honest, and it always works out because I'm
Right.
a very like I'm used to change and like I kind of like
Yeah.
adapt to change easily and I'm a very like problem solver.
Mm-hmm.
So if like something is happening, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do right now to solve like, to solve
Yeah.
this? It's I'm not really much like a panicky person where if something's happening and I start to panic, I instantly start to think of like solutions, which
Yes.
I'm very grateful for.
Yeah.
But it's just like so much trial and error.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of the same way. Like I'm big on just like problem solving and trying to figure something out as soon as something goes wrong. Which is a really great thing for sure. But also, going with the flow isn't always the greatest thing for your mental health. So maybe I should, stop doing that. But thankfully, I've been able to manage this year with that mentality still, which is
Mhm.
nice. I do think that it's probably going to take like years to get into like a good rhythm. Like, I thought that I would like have my life figured out like a year into business. Like, I was like, oh, like the first year is when you like have all these trial and errors. And then after that, you probably know how to do things. But if there's anything I've learned is that I still don't know how to do things. And I feel like it's probably going to take a lot of years to actually get into like a legit like rhythm of how to properly do things. Like I think it's going to be a lot of years of trial and error, which is not something I like foresaw at first, but now I'm like more okay with that idea and I'm like, all right, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes probably, which is fine.
Mhm.
So, we're just here for it. Here for the learning curve.
That's something that I've also been like taking into like consideration a lot when I do things is like the planning part. Like at first I when I first launched my brand, I like didn't really plan it. I was just kind of doing like making random stuff and then
Right.
launching it like kind of one of a kind stuff. But then for I quickly learned like that was difficult because
Mm-hmm.
one, it wasn't as size inclusive
Yeah.
because I was mostly working with like scraps and stuff like that. Like I never bought like large amounts of fabric. So I would just make stuff with what I could. But
Right.
then for this like my spring summer collection, I was like, okay, let me plan a bit more and like have the patterns ready. Like I didn't have all of the patterns graded. I kind of like just had like like the basic sizes, and then when someone ordered it, I would like do the size. So
Yes.
it wasn't very efficient, but
Yeah, I did
it
that
took me
too.
longer. But it was just because like I know that I probably wouldn't have that high of demand in like a
Mhm.
larger sizes. And then whenever I, if someone else ordered it, then I had it ready.
Yeah.
But I did plan it a little bit better. But now it was mostly I just needed help. Mostly that was just
Yeah.
what I needed the most. Like I just needed help. But now that like I have experienced that, and I'm currently like on a self journey because
Mhm.
I've if you watched our last episode, I've been
Yes.
sewing since I was 13, and I've really just been like very consistent with like reaching like my career goals, I guess, like, and
Mhm.
always just like trying to be better and learn more. And I've just really been hustling for a long time
Yeah.
because I've always known that this is gonna take me a long time and it's gonna take a lot of work. I grew up watching so many documentaries. Like I'm a very documentary
Oh,
person. Like I
love
love to
documentaries.
yeah, like I love to watch shows, documentaries, whatever that I learn things. So I watched a
Mhm.
lot of like, other designers, like their journeys, and also just like other people, other artists. And the main, thing with all of them is that it took them a long time to get to where they were.
Yes.
Lots of trial and error and lots of time and patience. And so I've had that mentality. I've had that mentality like ever since I was really young, and I'm really grateful for that, to be honest, because it has
Right.
really just like set me for the future, and it's helped me become a more patient person. I'm not like a god at patience or anything, but
Right.
it's definitely helped me be patient with like my career goals. Now that like I'm taking like a step back to focus on myself and like my mental health, I'm deciding that like I want to kind of take a lot more time to keep pursuing like having my brand. Okay, so like
Mhm.
to be exact, like I'm still gonna have my brand and I'm still gonna be
Right.
doing stuff every single year, every single whatever month, and doing like custom orders and stuff. But
Mhm.
I don't want to actually have like a made to order brand or just like, lots of products out
Yeah.
for a while, because I actually want to meet people that can help me get there, like
Mhm.
other individuals that know more about like business or about manufacturing or something like that, and I can start kind of like building like a team,
Right.
like even if it's just like one or like two three people that
Yeah.
are interested in doing it with me and want to become like a part of my team to like then really go for it and find like a grant
Mhm.
that can help fund my business and stuff, because that's what most people do.
Right. Which like
That's how like
never
most
crossed my
businesses
mind.
are made. we're,
Right.
we're really doing this from like we're investing in ourselves, and we're like
Right.
starting from like nothing, which is great, but
Right.
ultimately like to really grow, like you need someone to invest into you.
Yes.
um and it's just like it's way too much to just do it completely by yourself, and
Yeah.
especially like we're also so young, like we're
Right.
22, we're both 22, like,
Right.
and sometimes I'm just like, what, I need to relax
Mhm.
because I want to like live my life and have fun and still, pursuing these goals. And like I know what I need to do, kind of
Mhm.
like I know like some steps to take to get into
Yes.
that direction, but like also just like be living my life and like remembering
Yes.
to focus on like my self-care, and that it's all going to work out exactly how I want to, because I'm always thinking about how I want my future to be. I'm manifesting it.
Right.
So,
I feel like I'm on the same kind of journey of finding that balance of like wanting to be like young and enjoy my life, but also like pursue my career. And I feel like lately it's what I've been trying to do a little bit more of. And I've like realized that the more like breaks I take or the more I let myself like go out with friends or do whatever, like the more productive I actually am in my business. So it's actually a good thing. I feel like for so long I was like, if I'm not working on weekends, then I'm like losing time and missing out on all these opportunities, or whatever. But if like I've been taking weekends off and then it like refreshes my mind and then I'm able to like go into my business so much more like prepared and like refreshed and just like ready to like actually tackle things. So that is definitely something that I need to work on more next year, because like you said, like I also would like to meet more people, get out into the world, get out of Indiana and meet people who actually like, do this too, and just like be able to live my life as a 22-year-old is supposed to, because I feel like
Mhm.
I've lived my entire life just like chasing my career as well, like even through like college years where everybody's like having the best time of their lives, like all I did was just work and sew, and then like right after graduating I would just went straight into business. So like I just feel like I haven't let myself have that time of just like being a 20 whatever year old, and I feel like I need that.
No, me too. I definitely spent like I had a lot of fun in high school
Mm-hmm.
because I was sewing, but I was definitely like I had a really great group of friends
Mm-hmm.
and we were always doing stuff all the time and we were having
Yeah,
fun. So it was really great. So then whenever I got into college, because I like to just move away.
me too,
And I'm
literally
always just
same.
moving away.
Yes.
I'm like right after like high school, I moved to Chicago and then to
Yep.
Miami, and now I'm here,
Yep.
and now I'm planning to move again.
Heck
So,
yeah.
so it's just like I feel like I'm gonna start like probably like pursuing more like having the brand or whatever when I'm like 25. Like 22, we're just so young. You know,
We
our
are.
brains, our frontal lobes aren't even fully developed until we're 25.
Right.
Fact. You know, so we're still making like abrupt decisions and stuff because of our frontal lobes are undeveloped.
Right.
So
I love that excuse.
so like by 25, like I feel like I would feel more confident, hopefully,
Right.
because if I already feel pretty confident now, then I can't even imagine when I'm 25, you know?
Right.
Also like you see so many of these other businesses and like other designers and stuff, and they're not successful until they're like 30s, 40s
Yes.
or whatever. And like I
Yes.
sometimes like I'm like, why is there such a rush to like be successful like in your 20s? I feel like it's because
Yeah.
recently in like this generation there have been more people becoming successful younger
Mm-hmm.
because of social media and stuff.
Right.
So it's like we think like, oh, we can become viral and rich so quickly and so easily now,
Mm-hmm.
that like we all want that and we kind of like rush into it, or we try so many things to become rich or viral or whatever, and then we just like stress ourselves out because it's not as easy as it looks.
Yes. Yes.
And so now we feel like we have like we feel expected to become rich, or we aspire to become rich by like 30, which is so
Yes.
like
Crazy.
it's crazy, and
Yeah.
it's not like reality. Like they're like most people that are successful like are successful after their 30s, and I'm
Right.
totally fine with that. Like, but I'm excited to be 30. Like I don't know why there's so much
Yeah.
stigma around like getting older. Actually, like excited to get older. Like I'm not
Yeah.
scared of age because I can't wait to see like the people I know, like how wise I'll be, like the things that I will know, and
Right.
the people I'll meet, the experiences I'll have. Like I can't wait to, you know, be 30 and like have all of these memories and stuff. Like same thing at 50, 60, whatever. Like
Yeah.
I feel like with every year, like you're learning something new, and if you're constantly soaking it up and like taking everything as a lesson, then like you're just going to keep flourishing and growing, and good things are going to consistently keep coming to you. Everything is a lesson, you know, all of the trials that you've gone through, like all of the mistakes you've made, like they're all lessons, and they should be like applied to your future. Like, okay, this is what I should do or shouldn't do, and this is what's helping me, this is what's holding me back mentally and physically. So it's just really applying everything you're learning and putting it to your future.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel like the whole age thing freaks me out so much sometimes, just, or like, it doesn't anymore, but I feel like there was a certain time where, like, on my TikTok For You page, I swear every other video is like, how I started making six figures a month at 20, or like things like that, where you're like, am I like behind or something? Like, I feel like there's so many videos of people being like, I'm successful at 20 or at 21 or at 22, and it makes you feel that by like the time you're like 25 or something, you're considered old at this point, which like is so not true. But
It's
social media makes you feel like you need to be like more successful like at a younger age, and that is like much more like impressive, I guess, than being successful at an older age, which I think that was like such a big part of my mindset at first. I was like, I need to be successful now because then my stuff will do better, like, and I still sometimes think that, which is kind of bad, but it's like even one of my more like watched YouTube videos is like how I started a business at age 20. And I know that if I had said age like 30, it wouldn't have done as well, which is like kind of frustrating because then you feel like you're on this like time crunch of like, if I do this younger, it'll be more impressive. So people like it more and like blah, blah, blah. But it's such an unhealthy mindset to be at because it's such a like rare thing for somebody to actually be that successful that young. And it's like more normal to actually be older, and it makes more sense because you have more experience and more like time to, you know, make mistakes and learn from them and like actually know how to do things successfully. Because I also think if you like, you know, start going viral and start doing well really young, you're probably going to make a lot of like huge mistakes along the way that are going to cost you so much because you are young and dumb and don't know anything. Whereas like if it comes to you later in life, you'll be able to handle it a lot better. So I feel like that's a mindset I'm trying to like shift a little bit more, and like accepting that like it can take time, because I just feel so rushed by all this freaking social media all the time of people like suddenly going viral and then they're successful every single month after that. And I'm like, I've gone viral, but that doesn't mean I've been successful every single month after that. I have one viral video and that was it. And that doesn't mean that I'm like making bank every month. Like, absolutely not. Still struggling to pay bills every month. So it's like,
for sure,
such a false reality that social media brings up in that sense that I like need to get away from, because it's a bad mindset to be in.
there's just a stigma around age in our society, period.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
people in like the industry, like most industries, want younger people because one, high key, they can be manipulated more.
Yeah, which is bad.
Which is probably one of the low-key main reasons. Like, you know, people in the music industry, people always want them young because they're fresh and they can be manipulated, and they are.
Yeah,
like,
they are. It's
almost
so bad.
You hear every story, everyone coming out when they're older and they're like, I was manipulated and assaulted and abused like my entire childhood in these industries. And I'm like, being young in the industry does not sound fun. No. Does not sound fun. And it's so funny because people like, I feel you with the 20, like how to become successful at 20, whatever. I see them on my YouTube pop up, like how to make 100K figures, whatever. And I'm like, I know like how you're doing it. Not like, because most people that are doing like that have like those businesses or whatever, like a lot of them is like the Alibaba, AliExpress things where they like buy bulk and then they resell it for like a higher price or whatever. And I'm like, I have seen them, I've like watched them, you know, because I was curious when I was like a couple, like a year or two ago, and I was like, but this is literally you drop shipping, like like you're not buying a bunch of items. Like which you know, I'm not gonna like put stigma towards anyone that has a business like that, but like it's unethical because like you don't know where those products came from. Like they're definitely just like mass produced, and like you don't know what the conditions are of like that, whatever. So I'm like, so it's unrealistic, and like it's not something that I want and I'm going to pursue. Exactly. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't do that. And then you also see like, you know, people becoming viral when they're young, and like all like they make so many mistakes and stuff, and I'm like, and then us as a society, like we hold them like at such a higher standard. Because now like they're famous and like they're young, whatever, and like every mistake just gets put on blast, like
which is scary.
It's so scary, and it's annoying. Like the D'Amelio sisters,
like I feel so bad
for them. Like they, like, I honestly have never followed them.
Me neither.
I never followed them, and I've never really seen their stuff on like my For You page, and then randomly like see it.
Every once in a while.
But like, because I don't really follow, like I don't really have like, that's not like my content that I watch.
Me neither.
So people just like,
mine's all sewing content, I swear.
Yeah, like, or like educational like, healthy stuff. So like I see like the things that they've gone through, like they're literally just like posted on TikTok, fun dancing videos, and the fans made them famous.
Exactly.
And
they didn't choose it.
yeah, and then all the fans get pissed at them now that they're famous.
Yes.
It's like everyone hates them and like judges them and like critiques every single mistake that they made. Like, you haven't made a mistake, but yours just isn't getting put on a magazine and a bunch of like tabloids or whatever. Like, of course they're gonna make mistakes. The girl is 16.
Literally.
And with like a bunch of people, like all the pressure, like your mind, like your frontal lobe is not fully
definitely not
developed.
Definitely not.
Okay, do you watch the like Explained, like on Netflix? It's like The Mind Explained, or like Sex
Those
Explained,
are fun.
whatever. I watched The Mind Explained recently.
I can tell.
I really love the frontal lobe.
That frontal lobe.
It's literally like the main. It was like a whole episode about that, like about why teenagers make the choices they do. Yeah, it just makes me feel really bad. And honestly, I'm not someone like, I'm not really craving to be famous or anything. Like, I want my brand to be successful, but I want my brand.
Me too.
And like the things that I do.
Me too.
But personally, like, I don't really care to be super famous, even though, you know, I do put myself out there. I'm on YouTube and stuff. But like, that is the only way for me to grow.
Yes.
So it's like, I'm not necessarily doing it just for like my face to become famous, but for like the things that I do and like the messages that I put out there.
Yes.
So it's a struggle. And, you know, hopefully like one day I can just, you know, fall off the radar, but people still know who I am, you know?
That's how I feel. I'm like, that would be really nice to just like drop off the face of the earth for a hot minute, but like you're still relevant. Would be nice.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Also, one thing, when you were saying like you have one viral video or whatever, my entire account goes viral pretty often.
Yeah, you've gotten a lot of viral videos.
And crazy. I'm broke as crap.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't think people realize that there's so many creators on TikTok that have so many followers, but that doesn't mean they're like making money off of it. That just means people think they're funny or whatever. Like, I feel like people assume otherwise.
Mm-hmm. I have like 300.4K. I don't know.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, a lot. And like, cause my account went viral overnight, and like my first video was like me making my hang tags or whatever, and that video has 900K plays on it. But my most let me actually, I honestly, the thing is that I post very sporadically on TikTok. I am not consistent at all, because it is just, I'm not that good at making content. Like,
it's hard.
Like, I just feel like weird sometimes. Like, I'm not like the lip syncing videos or whatever. Like, I'm not good at that. Like, I'm not good at that. I feel
that. I feel that.
So this is kind of crazy, but my most viewed video is 25.3 million plays.
That is insane.
It's my like draping video, and it has 2.9 million likes.
And then after that, I have
crazy. And then after that, it's like 1.8 million. And then another one that's 1.5 million. And then like almost all of them are, you know, this one, like just a lot of numbers.
Yeah, which is insane.
Just a lot of numbers. And it has brought me, you know, great things. Like, it definitely did help my brand become, that's how I was reaching every limit. Like, but on Instagram, I only have 8,000 followers.
Yeah, which is like crazy to me, because I feel like that should transfer over to Instagram. Like, I feel like I'm opposite, where I feel like my Instagram does better and my TikTok flops all the time, which makes no sense to me. But I guess that's just life. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that like numbers don't translate onto every single platform either. Because it's like, I have a lot on YouTube, but that doesn't mean they all like go to my Instagram either, or my TikTok or anything. So it's kind of interesting.
On my TikTok definitely gained my followers on Instagram, because I had when I started, well, originally my page was like a fashion page that I had made for my stuff like 2 years ago or so, and I would occasionally post like my designs on there. I've like deleted most of them, like my old post, but so I had some followers on there, and I had like about maybe 400. And then once I, you know, went viral on TikTok, now, you know, I have 8,000. So it helped me gain the followers, but that was what, like within this year. So it wasn't like anything super dramatic like other people. And I get money like from TikTok,
Right.
like for
The creator
like
fund.
the creator fund,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not that much at all.
Not at all. I make like a cent a day, if anything.
Yeah, like a cent a day.
Literally.
Like I honestly don't even take out the funds. You know, you can take it like
either.
whatever. I haven't taken it, like I take it out maybe every 5 months because that's when maybe I'll get like $50.
Literally, yeah. It's nothing.
I'm getting nothing because like I'm not posting consistently.
Right.
I do not post consistently. Like my videos would just kind of keep like maybe showing up on people's For You pages, but like it's just so hard. I'm trying to, like, my goal for next year is to post more consistently on there, but
it's hard.
It's just like I don't feel like taking the time out for it. Like social media is like probably like one of the more difficult parts for me.
Yeah.
Because like like my goal for now is to like be consistent with YouTube, because in a way that's easier for me because I'm just like recording like things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I like editing and I like filming. Like I'm trying to like, you know, really up my filming game for like the next year. And so I like, you know, can grow on YouTube and then I can just post occasionally on my Instagrams, at least like for my personal. And like, I'll just post like, oh, I have a video, go check it out, you know?
Right.
And I like posting, but I kind of just like post whatever I want on my personal, and I never did. I'm just now taking it more seriously. Because I do also love photography and stuff, but since I always take like my own photos and stuff for like my with models, but now that I don't really know many models here, like I haven't been taking like anything.
I know.
So it's a struggle.
It is a struggle.
But basically, you will not, or your life will not become better by going TikTok viral.
No, that is for sure. It really does not do much unless you're going viral every single day, and then it leads to more opportunities and things. Okay, let's go into goals of like 2022. Okay. Things that you want to do, whether it's like, I don't know, business goals, personal goals, or just like habits that you would like to kind of have more of, things that you want to do more of, you know, all those things.
Okay, I made a list last night.
I have a list too. I don't know where I put it.
It's on my whiteboard. There you go. So the first thing is to be consistent with working out. That's like a main goal for me. I actually have been it's been like I think like 3 weeks. I've been basically working out like every single day. Nice. Not every single day, like maybe I'll miss 2 days, but I really try to do it like every single day for at least 30 to 45 minutes. And now that like I've been doing it like more consistently, it's so much easier, you know, like it gets easier as you go.
Yeah.
Plus I feel so much better. Like I tell myself I have to work out before I go to the studio, or before I, you know, just like every single day, because I definitely feel better. Like mentally, like physically, I feel better. And it's just like I had been making so many excuses on like why I don't have time to work out, because like I felt so much pressure. I felt so much pressure within like my business. I'm like, I have so many things I have to do. I can't work out. I just need to go do it, you know? But I'm like, I'm trying to control, you know, those thoughts more, and really just remind myself to like, you know, think about myself. I'm like, I know that I will feel better if I work out, if I meditate for at least 10 minutes, because I've been really trying to meditate more. And then I go to the studio and I definitely feel so much better. And it's only 30 to 45 minutes, you know?
Right.
It's really not that long.
No.
And even if you just do like 10 to 20 minutes, like it still can really like help. Cause like half the time I'll get stuck scrolling for like an hour. Literally, so I'm like, let me fucking throw the phone across the room and let me work out for 30, 45 minutes. I literally do it. Like I wake up, brush my teeth. I have like usually like a big smoothie, like a jar full of like a smoothie that I made that like it'll last me like a couple days. I drink a smoothie and I work out. Like that's the first thing. Like, you know, I do go on my phone sometimes. I'm not gonna say I never go. Like I don't go.
Right.
But like I have to do that first before like I start doing anything else. Because if I go on my computer to start like looking, I'm gonna get stuck. So I'm like, do this. And so that's like one of my main goals, because it sets you up for like the rest of your day, the rest of your week. So it's very important. And then more goals that I have, is mostly to network more,
Yeah.
meet more people within the industry, and also just make more friends. Like I really do not have many friends.
That is
I have
me.
I have like my best friends from where I grew up in like
Me too.
Jacksonville,
Yep.
but you know, they live in Jacksonville, Florida.
Exactly. Yep.
I don't have any friends that I like live here, or I mean I have one or two,
Yeah. No, I
but
get
they also
that.
live really far. And also just more people that like do the things that I do. Like my friends
Mm-hmm.
from like, you know, they have their own lives and they're not like, they don't do sustainability or like fashion
Right.
or
Right.
they're hometown friends. Plus I have, you know, friends in Miami and stuff, but you know what I mean.
I
Just
get it.
like
I
more
get it.
friends.
Yes.
More friends.
Yes. I get it.
You're my friend.
Exactly. But we live nowhere close to each other. So
No, but we
rough.
text often.
Yes, we do, which is nice. It keeps me
Yeah,
sane.
it's nice. Yeah. So network more, collaborate like with other designers, experiment with my own designs, just like really have fun
Mhm.
with what I'm creating. Like not just like always, you know, making the same things, but just like
Mhm.
having fun with like new designs and really testing my limits, see what I can make.
Yeah.
Also like get more creative hobbies.
Mhm.
I really love like being creative and just like doing multiple things. Like before, like I would always do a bunch of different things. I would like flip furniture, you know, paint a lot, or
Mhm.
not. That's a lie. I didn't paint a lot. I painted off like sometimes
Yes.
whenever, but like, you know, I'm not amazing. I just like painted for fun.
Right. Just for fun.
But and just like doing other things. I really want to get into crocheting because
Ooh.
I'm obsessed with crochet. Like crochet dresses, tops, bags,
Yes. Oh my
and
gosh.
macrame and stuff.
Mhm.
I've always been obsessed with it for years.
Right.
Like years. I always gravitate towards like stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
I have a ton of macrame bags. I have like a bunch
Right.
of crochet clothing. And I'm like, you know what? I should learn how to crochet.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
make my stuff. I'm still like gonna support other crochet artists because sometimes, you know, I don't want to do it, but
Yeah, exactly.
I
But
still want to learn.
yes.
So I bought a crochet needle,
There you go. That's
but
exciting.
I didn't buy yarn though.
Yeah, well, one thing at a time.
They didn't have like a color that I wanted. Like
Mm.
because like the options were very limited and I was like,
Mhm.
I don't feel like buying just any color I want.
Right.
I
The right
want hunter
one.
green.
Oh, yes. Love a good
The
green.
color is greens are my favorite. It's my favorite color. Green and then yellow. Also just like travel more and
Mhm.
I wrote down
Mhm.
uh reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Go off. That's on my list too.
You just got to put it out there.
You do. I think it's
Um
important.
you got to write it down to be
You do.
specific.
You do.
And I just wrote on YouTube, so I don't even know if that's combined with mine accounts because I have two. So I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if like it's combined or if just one reaches it and the
We'll
other.
see.
But we'll see. And
We'll
then
see.
like reach 20K followers on Instagram. I have many other goals, but I'm not gonna go through all of them because that's too
Right,
much.
right.
But advice that I want to put out there is definitely to write down your goals and to be
Mhm.
specific with what you want. I used to be kind of more broad with like my goals or like my manifestations, like
Yeah.
because I'm very open to change and I know
Yes.
that things are going to change like that I want. And I'm always like, oh, let me be more broad with my goals. Like, oh, I want to be a fashion designer, you know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
but try to be more specific if you
Yeah.
know what specific thing is. Like, oh, I want to be a sustainable designer that creates women's wear that's edgy, you know, like
Yes.
be very specific. Because it's like somehow it's just like a greater chance that that's actually going to become, and then
Mhm.
like still understand, like know that some things could change, but you can still reach that goal, you know, like
Yes.
I've always said, growing up, like I wanted to be a fashion designer that
Mhm.
uh did something. That's literally what I would say. Like
It
I want
just
to be a
did
fashion
something.
designer that does like changes the world, like does something that like
Yes.
helps the world. I always said that. And I never knew how I was gonna get there. I was like, I
Mhm.
have no idea how I'm gonna do that. Like what brand changed the world like that? The only thing I could think of was to like, you know, give back and like
Yeah.
donate and stuff.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I could think of. And then once I discovered sustainability and like all that aspect, I was like, oh my God, this is it.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to change. Like, this is how my brand is going to create change.
Right.
So it was a very broad, manifestation, but with time it kept growing, and I kept figuring out exactly what that, how I was going to get to that goal or whatever.
Yeah. I swear every time you talk, I'm like, wow, that's exactly what's going on in my mind. Like literally, I feel like I have the exact same goals on absolutely everything. Like consistency is something I want to be better at, just in terms of like when I launch and like what I do in that certain sense of things. Even with social media, I feel like I used to be super consistent, and now I've been kind of like not slacking on it, but just like not caring so much about when I post or whatever, which like isn't a bad thing, but I do think that I should start being a little bit more consistent again at some point. And then like networking is something that I definitely want to get into a lot more next year. Which I feel like with the podcast, I've been able to do a little bit more. It's been a great excuse to just like reach out to people, which has been nice. But I definitely would like to like meet people in person as well, because it's just like different. It's just easier to do that. Um, Definitely travel more. Obviously, that goes kind of hand in hand. Although I've been doing a good amount of traveling this past year, which I did not expect to do that much of, but been great. But yeah, manifesting, I feel like the more specific you get, the better it is as well. I feel like that's how I've always been too. Like I love writing down like ridiculously specific things, but for whatever reason, they kind of do always work out. Like I feel like the more I say things, even if they sound crazy, like the more they actually like come true. Like my parents always tell me I'm crazy for everything that I say that I'm going to do, but then at the same time they're like, but you always somehow manage to do it, so we're not going to put it past you. Like I'm sure that you're going to manage. Like the fact that I've been telling everybody like I want to move to LA even though it's ridiculously expensive and there's like no way I can currently afford it. I'm like, I know it'll work itself out. I'm just going to continue saying it, and like something will happen and I'll be able to do it. Like I'm not gonna not say it just because I feel like I can't do it right now. So manifesting is such a real thing. I always have to like physically write it down as well. I feel like that always helps, having like a vision board and like actually seeing it every day and like reminding yourself of what you're working towards at all times, I think is always really good. I'm trying to think of what else, but I feel like everything you said, I just like second that. Like me too.
Honestly, the biggest goal about manifesting is truly just believing in yourself.
Exactly.
I am such like a big motivational person. I don't even know what words I'm trying to find. Like I'm always just trying to tell people to believe in themselves. Like I know it can be really hard and it's definitely a journey, but if you believe in yourself, you can get anything accomplished. Like it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, if they think that you can do it or whatever, like as long as you believe in yourself, you will get what you want. Like you literally just have to think like all the time, like, oh, I will get this done. Like I am doing this. Like you want to manifest specifically, like you want to pretend like you already have it.
Exactly.
I'm already like a successful fashion designer, like I'm not going to be, I am already. I am moving to LA. I am moving to or whatever. Like you want to pretend like you already have it and just believe in yourself. If you constantly are telling yourself like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, and you're finding all of these excuses as to why you can't do something, all your brain hears is, oh, okay, you can't do it.
Right.
You can't,
so then you're not going to do it.
So you won't do it.
Yeah.
Because you're not believing in yourself. Like you're not putting all the good thoughts into your brain, like that you can do it. And I know, everyone is different and everyone has a different journey, and it's, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy and it's going to happen tomorrow. It is definitely going to take time and you have to be patient, but as long as you consistently just believe in yourself and know that it's going to work out, like it will work out. Exactly. Like your mind absorbs everything, and if you're feeding it all of these negative things, like that's all that your life is going to be surrounded with.
Yes.
So if you fill yourself with like belief and positivity, like at least, always trying to, then you will surround yourself with that.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the mind is just such a powerful thing, and you just got to feed it good things at all times for it to continue giving you good things back.
It's extremely powerful.
It really is. It really is. I've definitely noticed that for myself. It's been
we
great.
have we have the power to do so many things, and I
Yeah.
feel like we just get like so discouraged and so thrown off from that like belief because other people other people
Right.
are telling us that we can't do this, we can't do that, because they're simply just projecting.
Yeah.
They don't believe in themselves, and so they're projecting their fear onto you, or they don't want you to succeed because they couldn't do it, so they
Right.
don't want you to do better than them. Like anytime someone is negative towards me, or they tell me that I can't do this or whatever, I'm like, you're projecting.
Yes.
I'm not gonna accept that
Yep.
negative energy from you. I'm just gonna ignore it, okay?
Yep.
Because like hurt people.
They really do.
A positive person is not going to tell you that you can't do this or whatever. Like I don't tell anyone they can't do anything,
No.
because I know that they can do whatever they set their mind onto. So every time
Mhm.
someone tells me something, I'm like, I believe in you. I know you can do it, and I know you will do it, because that's all you need. You just need to believe in
Right.
yourself. If you Once you start believing in yourself, and you start to, attract more people that will believe in you
Mhm.
and will support you.
Right.
So in the beginning, you might not have like the supportive group that will, and it'll just be you like supporting you. But with
Mhm.
time, you will build that support system. So
Yeah.
it really is just patience and consistently trying and being aware of like your thoughts. Like the moment you start like kind of like maybe uh, thinking negative thoughts towards yourself, or like putting yourself down, you just have to try and catch yourself and be like, stop,
Right.
not true. Like you're just tearing your own self down right now, and you're holding a gun against yourself.
Yeah.
Like no one else is telling, like people are telling you that you can't do this or whatever, but no one is like putting a gun against your head
Right.
telling you that you have to live this life,
Yeah.
that you cannot do this or whatever. Like it's just you against you.
Yeah.
So I'm always just preaching that, because
Yeah.
every time someone will just be like, oh, they're just talking, I'm like, oh, I can't do that. I'm like, but you can though. You're
Mhm.
telling yourself that you can't, but you can. And I believe in you.
Exactly. That's what I say. I feel like I get so many, like DMs, comments from people that like, want to start their own businesses or want to do whatever the heck they want to do, want to be a fashion designer or whatever. They're like, what do you have to do to like do it? Like, what is your best advice? I'm like, just do it. That is the best advice I can give you, is to actually just go through with it and like believe that you can do it and you'll get there. Your journey's probably going to be different than mine. Everybody's is, but like if you have the patience and you have like the willingness to actually get it done, and you're not going to give up throughout the mistakes and the trials and all the things, and like it'll happen for you. Like what's meant for you will happen for you. And if it's not meant for you, then like something better will probably come your way. So it's
Mhm.
like, just got to believe that.
We've all had like trauma in our lives. We've all
Yeah.
experienced like things that have changed our lives like negatively.
Right.
And you can't let that past like control you. So
Yeah.
many people let their past control them. Honestly, like the
Mhm.
majority, like a very large percentage of like the world lets the past control like everything that they do, and they're constantly fearing and thinking about the mistakes they've made, or um like and fearing what they could do, or like, and they just really let everything control like what their minds and their actions. And it's just really sad, because I just wish like there is definitely more mental health awareness now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
God, I
Yeah.
can't, sometimes I'm like, oh, I was born in the wrong era, but honestly, hell no. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine to live. I can't even imagine living in like the past, where like so much woman like discrimination
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
and like so much mental health stigma and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, I am such an independent woman, and like
Me.
have very strong beliefs.
Yeah.
And if some man or someone try to cross me, I'm
That
sorry.
would not be good.
Like it was just someone tearing me down, trying to tear me down. Like it just annoys me, because I'm like, you don't even know what I
Yeah.
could accomplish. And I
Yeah.
know, and mostly like I just see it as like, I know you're just unhappy with yourself, and that's why you're tearing me down. And I feel sorry for you
Right.
that you can't see the worth, and you can't see how I see you. You know, like
Right.
I know you get that done, but you can't see it in yourself, and now you're like dragging me into your self pity or whatever because you
Yeah.
want to make yourself feel better, but you're just like, I know you can do it, boo boo.
Yeah.
I know you. I'm talking to the curtain. I know you can do it, boo boo.
That's great. Yeah, no, I love that. I feel like, you know what? We're not going to make this too long like we did last time. I feel like that's a really great note to end off. Giving some motivation. You can do literally everything that you want in life. Simple.
Everything.
Everything.
Believe in yourself, boo boo. Set them goals 2022.
Exactly. Love that. Yeah, I guess we'll just, we'll round it up there. Thank you guys for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. Subscribe if you're on YouTube, subscribe if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I don't know how that works. I'm still figuring that one out. And if you're on YouTube, comment down below your goals and things that you want to do. Would love to hear that. But thank you for coming on and chatting. I'm sure this will not be the last one that you're on. We'll have you more in the next year. That's another goal. Have you more on here on the next year.
Yes, collaborating, both of us.
Absolutely. Actually meeting in person would be really great as well.
That's happening.
That's on the list. That is hopefully very soon in the next couple months. So
got this.
if all goes well. So very excited. But yeah, I will
support us so that we can make it happen.
Yes, please, because we need money if we need to travel to wherever we're going. So please support, that like on YouTube really helps. That subscribe button really helps. All the things. I'll have all of Veronica's links down below in the description of YouTube, the description of the podcast, all the things. Go follow, support. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great year. I'm excited.
We got this.
Yeah. Peace out, everyone.